Why even little alcohol is harmful. Let's watch this video. Let's react to it together. No face cam. And yeah, guys, I have some time to upload. So yeah, I'm gonna keep the videos rolling. Okay, let's watch this.
I was done. I was like, I'm never gonna drink.
He was done. He's never gonna drink. I was done last year, 2024, for the UEFA Champions League final game. Had a few drinks. After that, I'm like, fuck it, no more.
Again.
Any more than 2 drinks a week is risky.
See, any more than 2 drinks a week is risky. People can make fun out of me, etc. I don't give a flying fuck. At the end of the day, you want to make fun of me and say, we'll have oros and cookies. Thank you. Have that there. I'll have that at least the next morning. I know I won't wake up with a headache. I'll still have enough money, etc. I'll still be able to, maybe walk, gym, or do something, or record a video. People must keep making fun out of me, and I hope so they find out about this channel, because at the end of the day, I'm spitting fucking facts with this channel and the message, what I have behind. Not sugarcoating the alcohol. Alcohol is poison at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? It's just society has been brainwashed to believe it's not poison. It's a social drink. It's something you must have fun with. You know, all of that there. Fuck that, man. It ain't no fun if it's fucking up your body and your mind.
Functional alcoholic for many years.
We need to move away from this alcoholic culture.
Alcohol lies to us.
Alcohol
See, alcohol
causes damage.
I know that alcohol is
That's Dr. Daniel Amen.
usually like bad for you, but I didn't know like
Causes damage.
I know that
Alcohol not healthy even in small amounts. Report. You see, even in small amounts. Here's your global national. You see, I know that alcohol is usually like bad for you. But you see, even in small amounts says. So, guys, nothing to hide here.
alcohol is usually like bad for you, but I didn't know like how bad it was.
The quality of my life just sort of declined and declined and declined.
It's a poison. It's a drug.
Alcohol is a really bad drug.
Well, initially it made me feel like myself. It was like this miracle salve where suddenly all of the unconscious anxiety and sense of difference between myself and others seemed to vanish. And that discomfort in my own skin turned into comfort. Like I suddenly felt like, oh, maybe this is how everyone else feels all the time. I've discovered this thing where now I feel like, okay, like I can exhale and I can be around other people.
Every time I had done something or said something that I regretted, it was when I was drinking. And I thought at one point,
See, every time he said something or done something that he regretted, it was when he was drinking. Same year. Before you guys know, like for those of you who know me personally, I was very shy of girls. Now every time after a drink, the confidence will, get there and I'll approach any girl. But now I do it sober. Fuck alcohol. Fuck it. It's a poison. I don't touch a drop. I live by my words and I encourage you guys to do the same. If you guys want to know more, I'm not going to share in this video. Go check out who's a Sober Leon's channel. And yeah, guys, you guys will get the answer there in one of his videos where he talks about the method, which I won't share here in this video. I'll share it in the next video. Else maybe I'll share it at the end of the video and at what method I've been using. And you guys can do more research on it. So yeah, check out his channel. I love this thumbnail here. Just a few drinks. You might not expect this. Let me actually share this on the Facebook. My gaming Facebook. Let the people see it. Just a few drinks. You guys see? Fucking legend. Legend. His videos are good in that. He deserves more subs. So yeah, go subscribe to his channel, guys. Okay, let's watch this video. Oh yeah, here's the video, here's the channel. Here's the title, but let's watch it together.
maybe I don't want to live a life where I'm continually or even sporadically wishing that I hadn't said or done something. And I'm very much unlikely to do that if I'm sober and clear-headed.
You know, I grew up in a pub, so it was like there was always drinks going on and, you know, parties, and I was jumping on the bar and singing songs. And so alcohol was just like a real normal thing in my family. And
you see, it started off with a family. It was a normal thing in a family. But you see, now that she's growing up, she sees things differently. And basically, like even myself, I'm 35. I'm here to spread a new message to the generation, the younger generation, you know. And it's a good thing because more and more people is, you know, not drinking anymore, you see, guys. So yeah, spread a message, guys. Spread the message that alcohol is poison.
it was fun. It was just a fun time for me in my 20s. But then when I would wake up, it'd be like silent and it wouldn't feel nice.
I have family members who will say, I need a drink. That is a sign of somebody that can't regulate their nervous system, right? Like, I need a cup of coffee and I'm not being disparaging of these statements. I've said I need a cup of coffee. But what you're really saying is that your system requires this chemical to get a lift. Mm-hmm. It's not a crime.
See your system, what he says?
What you're really saying is that your system requires this chemical.
See, your system, what you're saying, if you need a drink, he's trying to say your system is like telling you, you need us to get the lift. You need us to feel a little bit hype. Like some people need to smoke marijuana, weed to unleash creativity. And I used to be that person. Now I unleash creativity and unlock my imagination doing it sober. Like I play, basically for a living, I play video games and I upload content. I'm a professional EAFC coach. And basically, before I used to like to smoke weed so I can feel like I'm in the game and I'm controlling the players. If you understand what I'm saying, guys, about gaming, that's what I used to basically do. Now, you don't need to have a beer or have tacha, which I call this in South Africa. Weed is another word, marijuana. You don't need to smoke in order to unleash your creativity. If you want to imagine you're like Goku and you're flying, you're a bird, just imagine it, be it sober. Close your eyes and just imagine you're a bird and you're flying over the place. You know what I'm saying? Instead of relying on a chemical, alcohol, poison to give you a lift. And I mean to up your mood, whatever. Fuck that. Don't be stupid, guys. You know what I'm saying? Especially the next younger generation. Don't be like the old generation, lost. And always have an open mind. This way, you're going to be able to see things differently compared to the next person. You know what I'm saying, guys? It's all about wisdom and looking basically deep into life. You know what I'm saying? And into things, guys, you know? Not just looking by the surface of things, breaking it into small components, etc., guys. And this way, you'll be able to stop alcohol. Guaranteed, guys. Now, let's watch the video.
To get a lift. Mm-hmm. It's not a crime for most people, but if you need a drink in order to relax, in my mind, you don't actually have control over your nervous system.
I just decided to do Dry January, and in doing Dry January, it really scared me because I had a really tough time. I couldn't quite wrap my head around how much I was struggling without booze in that first month, and it really scared me. By the time I'd done 6 months sober, I really started feeling the benefits. I started sleeping better. I was handling stressful situations better. My relationship was better.
There's the proof. He started sleeping better. All of that, guys. Come, guys. It's time for some of you to see the light. And for those of you who don't want to see the light, sadly, you'll be where you are. You're not at the end of the day and stuff, you know. And even with this content, I cannot force people to see the light. It's up to certain, like out of certain amount of people, like let's say 100 people, out of 100 people, maybe only 2 people will see the light. And that's just the way it is. But for those of you who see the light, spread a message. Spread a message to the world.
My relationship with my family was better. My relationship with my work was better. And I just sort of said to myself, let's do a year. Let's get through the first year. And then that would be a wonderful achievement. And then by the time I'd crossed that annual mark, I was done. I was like, I'm never going to drink again because this is the best version of myself. It was my go-to to celebrate and my go-to to commiserate. You're constantly like this, which means that you always have a reason to be drinking or I felt like I always had a reason to be drinking. I was never a bad drunk or anything like that. When I started, I just couldn't stop.
I knew very early on that my relationship with alcohol was different from that of my peers because I would be the last person to leave. I was immediately sneaking drinks. I was the one who was throwing up and blacking out when everyone else knew what time it was to go home. I started going out like more and more nights every single week. And then fast forwarding through later years, hiding my drinks, sneaking my drinks, hiding the empties, and doing kind of all the dark stuff that one does when they fall prey to this condition. At the end, I was alone, alienated from my friends. My family didn't want anything to do with me until I sorted this out. It was very dark for a very long period.
You see how his family didn't want anything to do with him. So you guys see how alcohol ruins things, your relationships with family, etc. All of that there, guys. And if you feel as though it's okay to drink, go ahead, keep on drinking. You know, I can't force you, and that, you know, and I can share with you a lot of deep wisdom and give you a lot of analogies why alcohol is not good. If you want to, like some people, they like drink and that they're like, you know, I love the beer, it's too nice, all of that there, you see, because they addicted to it and they never like yet see the light, you know. They'll be like, you know, the alcohol don't affect my decisions, all of that, but in the meanwhile, maybe it's giving you a belly, it's you being overweight because of it, but they won't see the light. So at the end of the day, you got to leave them and not share with them the deep knowledge and wisdom you have on how you stop alcohol. You know what I'm saying, guys? You got to leave them behind. You know what I'm saying?
Time.
Because alcohol lies to us.
Alcohol lies to us.
Alcohol.
See, here's your alcohol's lies to us. Alcohol causes damage in the brain, even little. Here's why the answer, why little alcohol also causes damage.
Causes damage in the brain.
Really?
Even a little bit of alcohol.
See, even a little bit of alcohol causes damage in the brain. Listen carefully with an open mind. Guys, sorry about that there. I need a little bit of water. I'll drink later, just now after this video.
Causes damage in the brain. It disrupts something called white matter. So gray matter.
It disrupts something that's called white matter, alcohol.
Nerve cell bodies, white matter nerve cell tracts. So white matter is the highways in your brain that transmit information and impulses. And even a little bit of alcohol has been shown to disrupt the white matter in your brain.
Alcohol is more of a sedative. Alcohol's main effect is to reduce the amount of activity in the forebrain, which is involved in planning and inhibiting. It's involved in the no-goes.
Right.
Right. It's also involved in the sense of self and your self-image, who you think you are in the world. It's kind of interesting. Mm-hmm. So when people have a drink or two, they feel less inhibited. They also, at least at the early stages of drinking, they tend to feel more confident. They tend to continue drinking, then they tend to lose their self-image. They forget who they are. They can even go blackout drunk. And the downstream chemicals are interesting. For a small, maybe 8% of the population, alcohol causes a huge dopamine increase. These are the people that from the first drink, they discover that they are an alcoholic or very prone to alcoholism. I've known people like this. Then these are the people that can drink like nobody else. It's not just a tolerance, it's that dopamine system kicking in.
Alcohol is an extraordinarily pernicious drug, and if you're inclined towards it, you can be inclined towards it because you're sensitive to its anxiety-reducing properties, or you can be sensitive to it because it enhances social communication, or because it produces a psychomotor high like cocaine, or all of those at once. And if you're particularly predisposed to alcoholism, you can experience all three at once.
The American Cancer Society came out and said any alcohol increases your risk of 7 different types of cancer. And I've been talking about this for 30 years because I have scans, and people who drink any alcohol have lower activity than people who don't drink at all. And obviously, alcoholics, they have terrible looking brains.
See, terrible looking brain. So if you're young, stop right now. Create a plan, stop, watch my videos, and you guys will get the answers. And also Sober Leon's videos.
Don't do that. But you got to ask yourself, why?
The addiction elevator is always going down. It's a progressive disease. It only moves in one direction. The best case scenario is that person's life stays the same, but in almost every case, it continues to decline.
See?
This is your brain when you're struggling to focus. And this is your brain when you're in the zone. But getting in the zone
and it will decline to the point where the pain experienced by the person who is the addict or the alcoholic becomes more unbearable than the fear of the change. And that is where willingness is born.
Alcohol is a really bad drug. You know, 50% of murders take place in an alcohol.
See, 50% of murders take place in an alcohol-fueled environment.
Alcohol-fueled environment, either the victim or the perpetrator or both is drunk. It's almost the sole cause of domestic abuse.
It's not really the alcohol. It's what the alcohol becomes, right? So alcohol is processed through the liver and becomes something called acetaldehyde. Acetaldehyde is a poison. It's what actually makes your brain hurt. It dehydrates the lining of the brain called the dura, which is what gives you a headache. By the way, headaches don't come from the brain. The brain doesn't have any pain receptors. It's not actually capable of transmitting a pain signal. We get the pain from the covering of the brain called the dura.
We just finished this analysis actually looking at alcohol and markers of recovery, so heart rate variability and heart rate. And literally with every drink, it is just, there's a linear relationship in the decline, and it is significant. So, I mean, yeah, we're talking even one drink will produce clinically significant reductions.
See, even one drink, I don't have to say more, you guys heard that.
In heart rate and heart rate variability. I don't know that even a moderate amount of alcohol is good for you.
See, even a moderate amount of alcohol ain't good for you.
What's the implications for our circadian rhythms that we've been talking about?
Yeah, it's mainly because it impacts sleep. It's going to impact when you go to bed and when you wake up. So I think that's the biggest impact. And I think, again, when we go back to melatonin, it's when you're disrupting that sleep onset offset, that's going to obviously have all the downstream negative effects that we've already spoken about. So I suppose if we're drinking, we're staying out later, so we're exposing ourselves to light. So yeah, there's lots of, we're gonna be eating later. There's other behaviors that accompany drinking that kind of, pile on the negative effects.
When I hit rock bottom and I started working on myself, I really hit rock bottom. There was a moment in my life at the age of 20 when it was live or die. That was what was left. It was so bad, it was like years of spinning down, 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 down. And then I was sitting one day on the street, under the sun, and it was like, live or die. What do you want? Because you can't go on like this. And I asked myself, I said, what do you want, to live or to die? So I promised myself that it doesn't matter how many years it's gonna take, I'm gonna find a way out of this. Keeping a vision for 10 years in harsh conditions, in that sense, where you don't feel good, but it's like you keep going and you keep going and go I'm not giving up till I get there. Wow. When it came together, it was one of the happiest moments of my life. Wow. And one of the moments I'm the most proud of.
That alcohol, because it enhances sociability and also suppresses anxiety, is a good social anxiety medication. But the problem is you don't learn how to conduct yourself as a sober individual in social circumstances. Yes. And you learn.
You see? You rely on alcohol to give you confidence. When you're sober, you cannot speak to girls, all of that, or approach people you don't know. And as a guy, some of you not know the story. You need to, during my younger days, I was very nervous to approach girls. I always needed a drink to boost my confidence. And now it's totally different. I don't do that. I've been doing it sober.
Very rapidly to rely on the alcohol, not only as a social lubricant, but as the basis of your social behavior. And I would say, to young people who are watching, listening, that's a stupid plan. You should learn how to be in a social group with others when you're sober so that you bloody well know how to do it, especially if you're planning to do anything even vaguely serious and responsible with your life.
Anything I wanted to do was laid out in front of me. I arrive in California for college. I grew up in Washington, D.C., so traveled 3,000 miles away to go to school, enter alcohol. And that began the sort of slow decline of my ability to express my potential, not only as an athlete and as a student, but as a human being, because it just gradually denigrated all of my values and sort of dented my aspirations to the point where I no longer really cared about my trajectory or where I was headed with my life.
We're going to go through some difficult times, but on the other side of it is spring. So the beauty is, some winters are long, some are short. Some are hard, some are easy, but you never skip winter. You don't go from fall and reaping straight to spring. But when you go through winter and get strong, now new springtime happens. If you do well in winter, if you take care of yourself and get strong, that's my goal to help people with right now.
I didn't exactly know what to do without that false camaraderie that alcohol produces and that inflation of confidence and extroversion as well. Yeah, not a wise developmental strategy, all things considered.
Okay, guys, let's wrap the end of the video. Here's it here. You guys can check it out. And yeah, guys, just remember, alcohol is a poison, and that's it. And what I want to say, I use first principles thinking to help me quit alcohol. So there's the answer. Anyways, guys, catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.